This is my webbing, and this is a perfect 3-wrap 2-pole anchor, standard in climbing and especially in rescue. Let's rewind a bit. The difficulties I see with my students tying a 3-wrap 2-pole anchor system is that they often use way too much webbing and they feed it around with one end and they don't pay attention to the twists and the overlaps and things, and it looks really messy and it's very hard to tell what's being tied. And because of that, it makes it very difficult to equalize the strands and make everything even. And when they get here, they're kind of wondering what they're supposed to do. And so sometimes they'll actually tie the two ends together with a water knot there. Then they have all this extra line that they have to pull out and have all this extra gain. And so it's just not a very efficient use. So there is a solution where you can just tie a frost bend here. So it's just like you're tying a water knot, except you start with the bite here. The problem with this is that you're now wasting a bunch of webbing that you could have used elsewhere. So then once you tie it off, you pull those two, and what will often happen is they'll have the knot off to the side or on the back. And again, there's those twists and turns and overlaps. And it's just very hard to inspect the system this way and know that it's correct because there's some confusing things. What we're going to do is find the center of this webbing. So this loop here is going to be the center on the daisy chains, and you're going to take that loop and you're going to bear hug the tree or walk around your object or whatnot and put that in the very back of the tree or your anchor. And you're going to pull both strands out. And you're going to keep it nice and flat and smooth. You're going to switch hands. You're going to go back around the tree, and once you get to the back, you're going to go one high and one low, switch hands again, and come back and bring those ends to the front of the tree. As you can see, it's flat. There's no wraps or anything on the back. There's no twists. And then we're just going to tie our water knot here. So we do our overhanded one, and then the other one we just follow back through. I have videos on the water knot, and just remember there's a couple things to look for once we have this tied. We want to make sure that we have the ends coming out on opposite sides of the knot. And then when we grab on, we want to see that and make sure that the end sticks out of our hand, because that ensures we have about 4 inches of tail there. In case it gets pulled, it won't undo the knot. And then we're going to grab, and this is the 2-pull part. So we grab those 2 strands and we pull them out. And that just keeps our knot in the center of the tree where we can easily inspect it and it has the least amount of pressure. And then we want to take our carabiner. We're going to go down into our anchor and then flip it around so that now the carabiner is pointed down the hill. And so that means, especially with a screw-weight carabiner, then instead of an auto lock like this, that you'll be screwing down so you don't screw up. So that's the moniker. So now we also have this nice angle here. This is less than a 90 degree. This is closer actually to more like a 45, maybe a little bit bigger than that. And that just means that we have the load evenly split as opposed to causing more tension in this area. And I have a video about just that topic as well that I would encourage you to check out after this. All right, so now for the tip that's going to help you size this anchor system for any tree or rock or anchor that you're tying to, and you can adjust this for other types of anchors as well, is we need to figure out how long of a piece of webbing we need in order to go around this tree and to not have it too long where we have all that extra like I showed, and not too short where this angle is super wide and creating more stress. So all we have to do for this 3-wrap to do this is we take some daisy chain webbing. Now this seems to be the most common way to store webbing, and although the spacing and sizing of these little wraps are different depending on who does this, most of the time they look just about like this, even if they're not quite as neat. So it is going to get you really close to what you need. What we're going to do is we're going to hold up this daisy chain, and we're going to focus on not the loop so much, but the actual chained part, and we're going to hold this across. We want to find a piece that matches the width. So obviously not that. So like you saw before, I was using this red one. See, this chained part from here to here matches the width of this tree. And as you saw, it's going to end up being the perfect length. You tie it together with the water knot, grab onto that, make sure that they're long enough, pull just like so, not in the middle, clip whatever we're using for an anchor, and now we are ready to go. This anchor is amazing because it is multi-directional, it's super strong, very little weight on the knot, so it's easier to untie, and it doesn't fall down when you let tension off. So really just a very excellent anchor, highly recommended for all sorts of rappelling, climbing, and rescue. So let me show you now how this works on a variety of different size objects. Let's go. Now let's try it with this lowly garbage can. Okay, too long but pretty close, too short, too long. So the best is going to be this black one. Keep it nice and flat, trade hands, back around, one high, one low, trade hands, come to the front. All right, same idea, getting close to the camera here. And now you can see it just fell just because it's smooth. Obviously, if this were a tree or a rock, it wouldn't do that. And just figured I'd use this because of the diameter. I'm going to lift this back up. Hopefully I don't have too many twists now. So I ended up getting a twist when it fell. But as you can see, we again have this very nice angle here. And this is a little bit of gain here, a little longer than it needs to be, but this is still very acceptable. Let's move to the next one. I really want to prove to you that this works on any size anchor. Now, again, too short. Getting pretty close would probably work. That looks just about right. So, now please do not use a propane tank as an actual anchor. This is just for demonstration purposes. So I'm sure there will be somebody that'll point that out, but yeah, definitely not an advised anchor. Can you imagine if this thing fell off a cliff? Oh my gosh. We pull this tight and we have a nice anchor, a little long, but as you can see, that strand we picked is a little long. This one may have been a little better actually, but this is going to be still really nice angle here. This approach will work for every type of anchor, and that includes rocks. Now rocks, you're going to have to use a little judgment because they're not perfectly round like I showed in these demonstrations. So you're going to have to make some judgment calls on how long that needs to be and what maybe the average diameter is when you're sizing it. The other thing that you can do is that you can use a 2 wrap or a 1 wrap really. And to size those, you're going to do 2/3 or 1/3 of the diameter. And so that's going to really help with those other types of anchors. There's always an adventure in your reach. Help make it happen by watching one of these videos next.